Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Liz Mosley and I'm a graphic designer, and I am back today with another tutorial for you showing you how to use mockups. So these are mockups that are created in Adobe Photoshop, and they have a smart layer in them, and it means that you can add your designs and make really realistic looking mockups of all sorts of different products, which can be really handy for if you are presenting ideas to a client, or maybe you just want to show off your designs on social media or on your website or in your portfolio. So before we get started, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my tutorials, and we'll dive in and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so once you have created your design or your pattern or whatever it is that you want to mock up, the next step is finding the mock-up that you want to use. Now, there's loads of people online creating really beautiful mock-ups. My favorite place to look is Creative Market because there's so many on there. So basically just think of the product that you'd like to find a mock-up of and just search for it. So maybe you've designed a label for a candle, so you could just find candle mock-up, and it's going to bring you up a whole load of options. Really beautiful packaging. You can put your, labels on there, and a lot of them usually have a lot of flexibility and different angles and things like that. Let's have a look for frame mock-up. So say you designed a print and you want to see what it would look like on the wall in a frame. There's loads of really beautiful scenes and setups. Now, obviously, one thing to think about is to consider if you're going to share it on social media or on your website or anything like that, you want it to look on brand. So you want it to fit with your branding. So if you've got a branding that's got a really bright color palette and is really bold and in your face, maybe going for some frames like this isn't going to be the quite right look because it's very muted. So just consider that as you're choosing which mock-up to use. I'll put a list below the video of lots of different places where you can find mock-ups, but another one that's great, these guys also sell on Creative Market, but Moyo Studio have really beautifully styled mock-ups, mostly for sort of like phones and tablets, computers, that kind of thing. There's also Envato Elements where you can find mock-ups. So some have more options than others. Another potential option is Adobe Stock. If you already have like a subscription with that, there's some mock-ups on there. Most of the photo image licensing websites will have mock-ups, but yeah, Creative Market is definitely my favorite place to go. So once you have found the mock-up that you want to use, we're going to take it into Photoshop. Now, one thing that I should say is that you want to make sure when you buy your mock-up, and they're pretty reasonably priced. I'm just going to search for one more. I'm going to go for water bottle mock-up because I was looking for one of those the other day. So once you've found the one you want to use, so I like this one, you want to make sure that it has got editable via smart object. So just check in the features that it has a smart object layer, because that is what you're looking for when you are going to edit the Photoshop file. I've already put this in my cart because I want it. Right, I'm going to jump into Photoshop and show you how you would edit your mock-up that you've bought. So I've opened up in Photoshop a mock-up of a baby grow, which I had previously bought for a project where I was designing a print for a kids wear brand, and I wanted them to be able to see what it looked like. Often people need help visualizing it, like imagining what a pattern or a design will look like on a real product. So here I've got my baby grow. On another window, I've got a pattern that I created with candles on. So I'm going to be putting this pattern onto the baby grow. Now, if you have a print that's going in a frame, it's going to work in the same way. You just have your design open as a JPEG, and then you will be placing that into the appropriate layer. that will be marked on what you've bought. So if you look over here in the layers, these are your smart layers. So basically there's a lot of elements that you can sort of fiddle around with, like the lighting, the shadows, which make everything look more realistic. But what we're going to do now is we're going to add our pattern. So I'm just going to get my pattern over here, and then I'm going to double click on the layer that I want to add the pattern to. Now for this one, there's quite a lot that needs to happen to get all the bits in place. So let me just okay, so I just need to get my candle pattern, which I've got over here, and then I'm just going to drag it on like this. I'm going to resize it because I don't want it to be absolutely massive. So I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. But I'll just need to be careful about resizing on all the different sections. Okay, so I've placed it there, and I'm just going to close that layer and save, and you'll see now that it is appearing on the baby grow. So I now need to do this for all the different sections. So I'm just going to drag it over, resize it, and they'll all start appearing in the right place. So let's go back and have a look. Amazing. So now I need to do this section. I'm going to leave it like that to save time. And you'll see it's on the sleeves. And honestly, that is how easy it is with these smart layers. And it starts to look amazing already. So this is going to be one of the bigger panels. So I'm just going to make this a bit bigger. So that was the back inside. I think this one might be the front. Nice. Okay, so I just need to do this little bit down here. You can see from the checks where it's going to appear. And then now what you can do is you can change the color of the ribbing. So if you could have the inside back a different color as well. So you'll see here that it gives you an option for color on the sleeves or color on the inside if you'd rather. So I could take off the inside and I could make this a color, and that could be like a different option. So I could go for like a dark blue. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the ribbing color. So here you'll see it says color trims. So I think I'm going to go for sort of like a vibrant blue for the trims. And you can also change the color of these buttons here. So if you don't want them to be white, I might go for a nice yellow. And there you have your mock-up of your baby grow with your pattern on it using smart layers. The other thing that you can do with this one is you can change the background. So if you don't want to have a white background, I might go for a sort of light grey, or I could go for a light yellow maybe. So you can make your mock-up look on brand. And there you have it. And then I just save that as a JPEG and I use it on social media, or if I'm doing a branding presentation, I will put my mock-ups in there. Anyway, I hope this has shown you how easy it is to use mock-ups, and that you find it helpful. And if you have, please subscribe. If you've got any questions, just pop them below. And I hope you will come back and watch some more of my tutorials soon.